I'd like to tell you about a little guy I used to know who had a shoe shine parlor. Very nice fella. His trouble was he had a nagging wife. Oh, was she a nagger? She was so bad she finally drove him clear out of the world of reality. He ended up living in the world of shoes. His friends were sneakers and loafers. He even brought a pair around one night to introduce us to. Said they were a couple of Oxford friends. Rhodes Scholars, he said. He used to walk the streets singing this little song. Let's see if I can remember it here. A shoe has a tongue, but the tongue doesn't wag. The tongue of a shoe doesn't nag. A shoe-tongued friend will never give you the blues. Some of my best friends are shoes. A shoe has eyes, but the eyes never cry. The eyes of a shoe never cry. A shoe-eyed friend will never give you the blues. Some of my best friends are shoes. Now some shoes are dark and some shoes are light. Some are quite full of holes. Half are left and half are right, but they all have soles. A shoe has a mate for the end of its days. The mate of a shoe never strays. A shoe-mate friend will never give you the blues. Some of my best friends are shoes. Now his friends didn't appear to be very well heeled, but he said they're comfortable. One night I asked him, I said, what walk of life are your Oxford friends here preparing for? He said, all walks. You might say they're majoring in pathology. Yeah, well, that covers a lot of ground, I said. Pathology. He said, yeah, and they're under a lot of pressure. I said, well, that's the trouble. When you want to become well polished, you have to toe the mark. He said, that's a rub. He said, but they get their kicks, too. He said, they're very fond of music, for instance. Schumann and Schubert. I said, what do they think of Beethoven's first? He said, well, they identify more with Beethoven's last. It's more down to earth. He said, but they don't dig the modern stuff. They leave all the jazz to the hip boots. Well, he said, we better be getting along. I don't want my friends to get worn out. And as he walked down the street, I could hear him sing. Some shoes are dark and some shoes are light. Some are quite full of holes. Half are left and half are right, but they all have soles. A shoe has a mate for the end of its days. The mate of a shoe never strays. A shoe-mate friend will never give you the blues. Some of my best friends are shoes. they're elevators. My friends are shoes. Shoes themselves seem to take it all in there.